slowly encroach on the rights over academic matters such as admission of collegiate bodies such as college faculties and university council. At the campus level, those occupying high staff positions are also perceived as encroaching on the rights over academic and administrative matters of collegiate bodies and administrators holding line items. Let me now move on to academic freedom. The extended family system that has long characterized the elite of UPLB is as strong as ever. Some students, faculty, staff, and alumni organizations and other affiliations are suspected to continue to harbor self-serving interests that may run counter to the freedom to seek truth. For some alumni, commitment to fraternity agenda and active participation in some undergraduate activities spill beyond undergraduate years. There seems to be nothing wrong with such a practice, so long as it doesn't run counter to academic freedom, caudal provisions, and the general well-being of the university. The same precaution can guide student activities. In my opinion, the greatest potential threat to academic freedom within the university would be the lack of safeguards against political overtures and pressures to compromise integrity and bend rules in the academy and in governance on social responsibility. So, is UPLB still producing graduates imbued with the UPLB spirit and the values of integrity, critical mindedness, and social responsibility? My answer is a qualified yes. The UPLB spirit, love of our university and country, integrity and service to the people is still in most of the graduates. I have, however, still some reservations on the quality of their training in some specialized and liberal arts courses. The quality and variety of the liberal arts and related courses at UPLB have yet to reach a level which guarantees that most of the graduates will have developed a full appreciation of the Filipino culture and history and possess the reflective intelligence to understand what is useful to our people and the country. Although UPLB was the first constituent university to implement the RGEP, it encountered difficulties in developing GE courses in the arts and humanities because of its limitations in human and financial resources. I believe that with adequate and steady support, the desired dose of specialized and liberal arts training needed to inculcate those critical habits of mind that will prepare students to address the current and emerging needs of the times will materialize. The fundamental issues on research and extension have been the meager research outputs and the inability to meet the expectations in extension services. Again, the policy of putting a premium on research and advanced degree in awarding tenure has, in my opinion, adverse medium and long-term impact on the quality of extension and other services of UPLB. One area where UPLB could have demonstrated greater social responsibility is policy advocacy. It should intensify its effort to promote an environment that would encourage the independent evaluation of the impact of agriculture policies. Many of UPLB researchers find it convenient to keep quiet on important policy issues. For example, why is it that only a few UPLB agriculture scientists question the accuracy of the reported higher rice production than population growth rate during the past 5 years of implementation of the Agriculture and Fisheries Moderation Act, despite the record rice importation in 2008? The main reason for the lower than expected showing of UPLB in terms of excellence, relevance, and social responsibility has been the inability of successive UPLB administrations to formulate, agree on, and implement a strategic vision or a plan of action that is focused on a few but very clear priorities. As a result, many of UPLB's activities were not adequately planned, supervised, or funded. The impact of its effort, which were spread over a wide range of activities, was less than expected. Let me now move on to the challenge to reaffirm UPLB's commitment to academic excellence, academic freedom, and social responsibility. On strategic vision, in order to address the challenge to reaffirm its commitment to excellence, academic freedom, and social responsibility, UPLB must strive for a strategic vision or a plan of action. This plan of action requires a clear understanding of its expanding mandate, development opportunities and potentials, and the constraints to harnessing these potentials. The next step then is to build a consensus on the specific strategies and activities for addressing the priorities through participatory dialogue. In my opinion, these strategies and activities will call for: 1. Far-reaching policy, structural, and institutional changes. 2. An honest-to-goodness manpower development system. 3. Adherence to the basics of values, good governance, of honesty, and integrity in service. 4. Greater efforts at generating funds. And last but not least, optimum generation of resources. Allow me, therefore, to share my thoughts and experience as a former UPLB administrator on the formulation and implementation of this plan of action. Allow me further to cite specific developments or accomplishments during my watch as Chancellor to support my suggestions and recommendations on the opportunities, potentials, and constraints to fulfilling the present mandate. The available resources include the storehouse of knowledge in agriculture and related fields, a constituency in agriculture and related fields imbued with strong tradition of academic excellence, critical masses of research, instruction, and extension staff in some areas of engineering, sciences, and humanities, and a body of over 11,000 students whose activism can be focused towards socially oriented causes. UPLB has an annual budget, a total annual budget of about 1.2 billion pesos. A campus with large and potentially suitable agricultural, residential, industrial, and forest lands, and land grants that are mostly idle. There are opportunities for substantial increases in income and external grants for scholarship, research, and extension services. There are also excellent opportunities for cost-cutting measures. The fundamental concern in harnessing UPLB's development potentials revolve around matching of activities with mission, clear-cut trust, setting of priorities, optimum utilization of resources, organizational and institutional arrangement, critical gaps in manpower, and obligation to share resources with the larger society. There are also issues associated with university governance, political overtures, and sectarian interests to bend the rules. Also, there are unfavorable policies, exodus of the more capable faculty, and deteriorating instructional facilities. On the lack of clear-cut trust and directions. The specific directions and priorities of UPLB should emanate from its mission or mandate. In instruction, the top priority should be: 1. Rationalizing curricular offerings while maintaining the national leadership role in agriculture and related fields. And 2nd, strengthening the GE programs and the curricular offerings in engineering, information technology, and biotechnology. The rationalization of curricular offerings would involve: 1. Merger of programs for excellence, relevance, and minimum overlap. Examples are communication arts and development communication. BS Ag Economics, and BS in Agriculture, major in Ag Economics. The second is abolition of or suspension of admission into programs that do not meet the criteria for excellence and relevance. And third, strengthening and opening up new programs in important growth areas. From 1995 to 2005, we tried to revitalize our GE programs. We started rationalizing our curricular offerings, abolishing 9-degree programs and 159 courses, and suspending admission into new programs. We instituted 3 new programs: PhD in molecular biology and biotechnology, Master in information technology, and BS in mathematics and science teaching. We revised 37-degree programs. Yet, such accomplishment pale in comparison with what needs to be done. We still have to intensify our efforts to refocus curricular programs. The criteria for rationalizing curricular programs or offerings should be relevance, excellence, minimizing or avoiding overlaps with other programs, efficiency in the use of resources, and of course, sustainability. Programs failing in terms of relevance and one or more of these criteria should be phased out. Relevance to primary mission should not be confused with increasing enrollment. After all, factors other than relevance, such as admission policies, geographic, and income bracket distributions of incoming freshmen, exert strong influence on the enrollment pattern in various curricular programs. Defining the trust and direction in research and extension will involve information and technology needs analysis, identification and packaging of mature technologies, and identification of technology gaps. The obvious implications are retrenchment, abolition, strengthening, and or expansion in certain programs. In 2000 to 2005, we phased out some research programs that had long outlived their usefulness. We started to revitalize our research and extension programs by formulating a unified research development extension agenda and a national extension policy identifying the process our mature and promising technologies. These initiatives were partly triggered by our realization that small and marginalized farmers need more location-specific and sophisticated and not washed-down technologies. Agriculture research and extension services must be shifted from commodity focus into an integrated production systems orientation. This will support the vertical integration of agriculture development activities, provide the best opportunities for increasing farm incomes and livelihood security for the rural poor, and bring in underprivileged groups into the mainstream of agriculture development. There is also a need to reorient the present concept of research performance towards rates of adoption by research output by intended end users. UPLB should actively participate in the formulation of policies and plans and in the implementation of development programs. The previous arrangement whereby a central body, for example, the Center of Policy and Development Studies, directly under the Office of the Chancellor, coordinated policy-related activities will perhaps be more suitable for this or appropriate for this task. This body should help foster an environment that would encourage discussion and debates on policies, programs, and issues relevant to its mission. On organizational and institutional reform, to maintain distinctive excellence in its core activities and achieve efficiency and flexibility,